For legal reasons, everything said here is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Thank you. Okay, so to begin, I want to talk about a dream that I received about Celeste and her friends. And the dream was longer than that, but they were basically, talking, laughing, doing teenager things. But this is the most important part of the dream that I could remember. And I think Spirit is saying that her friends should be pulled in for questioning. Like they know a lot about this situation and they would confirm the connection between her, Celeste, and Four. And I'm sorry, they are a very tight knit and loving group. They're almost like codependent. But they have also started rumors about Celeste as well. The rumors about like the unborn child being found in a backyard. That was a rumor that was started. But they're just kids. They're not evil. They're just, immature. So that's what I got. And speaking of rumors, here are some small rumors that I want to clear up, through tarot, through channeling. All of her remains were found in the trunk, and mm, the video, there was a video of Celeste at his concert in a black tube top that was taken earlier in the year, but then posted on TikTok in August, right? And then another thing was the email. Um, it was a trusted adult in the family that sent the email, not, Celeste's actual parents. Um, so yes. And finally, we just spoke about this, the whole unborn baby thing found in the backyard. That was not true. Okay, so I'm going to be reading what I wrote down from the tarot reading that I did and the visions that I got about this case. So the first thing that I got was what happened that night, and it was a vision of what happened to Celeste and how she died. Well, not all of it, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So I see her sitting in the same car with the guy at nighttime, the same Tesla, black Tesla. And at first they were laughing and play fighting. Then there's a guy that starts trying to do something with her neck. Like they're trying to grab her neck and all of that. But she's not in the mood and she wants to stop the play fighting stuff. And so she's pushing him off because they don't listen. Like she wants to stop, but they don't want to stop. So she's pushing him off. But then something comes over them. Like this action triggers something to come over them, which is a dark entity, right? And so in the vision, I see the dark entity like coming over his forehead, basically possessing him or possessing them. And then they black out. And this is a part where this person is like not in control of their actions, or like they cannot control what they're doing. And so they strangle her. But she doesn't die. She just passes out unconscious. But the person does not know that she's unconscious. They think she's dead. So, and then after that, they drag her out of the car into an apartment. But this apartment is not the mansion in LA from the news. It's a different apartment. And then in this apartment, they start to torture her and do, strange things to her head, her hair, and her body. And so that's where the vision ends. Spirit did not give me details about exactly how or when she died because I guess it's just too graphic, right? But I did get the intuitive feeling that the body was taken somewhere else due to all of the dust that was on the car. And I think I was right about that because the news, like there was news that came out that they did go to Santa Barbara, the desert of Santa Barbara, and but they did not stay there. They went there to put her body there, but then they changed their mind and they came back. So and okay, so here, okay, and in regards to the spirit that I spoke about, the dark entity, this is a spirit that they conjured up to give them fame and success. However, this spirit feeds on light and life force energy. And we know that younger people have more light and life force energy, hence why this person targets them allegedly. And this person, sorry, not this person, this spirit is very violent. So, yes, and I'm being told that this is one of the reasons why you see artists doing this type of harm to people of that age. And I'm getting this is a spirit that works with artists primarily. Like it doesn't really work with any other type of profession. So, okay, so this is the part where I uncover details and information about the prime suspect. This part of the reading was done when they said that they had no suspects. So that's why I added this question in there. And so in a vision, I saw a picture of, well, I'm going to show it on the screen. Dark hair, a picture of a person, male, dark hair, dark skin, and afro hair. So yes, that's the vision. That's the vision that I got. And then for tarot, I got the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Moon. So this person is a fire sign, Aries, primarily, and then the wands also represent creativity. So this person is an artist or they work in the creative industry. The King of Pentacles, um, people represented by pentacles have dark features. So dark hair, dark skin, etc., etc. And for the moon, it says that they are overly emotional and moody and they can be secretive. And this person is always around their family, they're childish. And then I asked for some more clues. I got the King of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, this and the Seven of Pentacles. So this person has a reputation of being very empathetic, generous, and hardworking, but they can also be childish and emotionally immature. And then finally, I got this person has a thriving career. So the connection between C and 4, let's just call this person 4. This is very, very interesting, very eye-opening to me. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Star, the Nine of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups, this is Celeste playing a nurturing, very mature role in this connection. And, you know, in return, he would spoil her with money. So that was kind of their energetic exchange. And for the Queen of Pentacles, it told me, you know, Archangel Michael was telling me that he was happy about the fact that he could use his money to attract, people like her, you know, beautiful young women. The Knight of Wands told me that there was a sexual component to their relationship, unfortunately. And the Star, she loved to be involved in his life. She loved the fame. She loved being in his songs, going to his concerts, and all of that. She loved being with him. Nine of Wands, she was afraid of him sometimes, but I don't think she would let him see that. She saw the dark parts of him, and he was all types of abusive, okay? To the point where she would be hyper vigilant and looking for a way to leave. So I saw a vision of her like going through a home, and she was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. And then he would try to stop her from leaving. And so I got the hint that the last quarter of the relationship is where it all began to go downhill. And so for the Page of Pentacles, he used his money to manipulate her into staying when she wanted to leave. And he also used the money to help smooth things over when they had arguments over him texting other girls. And so, him texting other girls, like beginning to text other girls, began this cycle of abuse. And they would be on again and off again until her death. Was her family pimping her out, or were they being paid off? Now, the answer to this might surprise some people. They weren't doing either of that. So what happened was 4 attempted to pay her family off, but they rejected it. They're not in need of money like that in the first place. So at first they thought that 4 was a regular guy that she was seeing, but later on when he tried to pay them off, they realized that he wasn't. So when she was running away, they didn't know where she would go. So for quite a while, they didn't know that she would be with him, like when she left home. So for this spread, it basically talks about like what her home life was like a little bit. And there was constant conflict in the home. She would run away when things got heated and then wait for her mother to stop being angry and for things to like quiet down a bit and wait for herself to heal and then, eventually go back home. But when she returned home, things would just get heated again. And then after this happened a couple times, her mother would just stop paying attention to when she would run away and she would stop keeping up with where she went or when she would come back. Basically just ignoring her daughter. So, and then around this time, when her mother stopped paying attention is when she would disappear with 4 for longer stretches of time. Why did the police reject 4 as the prime suspect of her murder? Okay, so they found evidence, but they don't have enough evidence to link him to the crime. They know whatever they have would not be enough and it could be written off as circumstantial. So they tried all they could to look for evidence that would work, but they feel like they've hit a dead end. And they know that the justice system favors celebrities. With what they have, it's like a 50-50 chance that he would get off. And they know that his defense is going to use all types of tricks to get the judgment that they want. The police allegedly has a lawyer checking all of the evidence with them, and they're advising them on this as well. And they're telling them that this won't work, etc., etc. And I'm not saying that this lawyer has an ulterior motive. This person thinks that they are being realistic, quote unquote realistic. So even with all the evidence that came out recently, they still don't believe that he can be charged. So in the beginning, they thought they were being given misleading information on the case. They thought someone was framing him at first. But there was an anonymous person that came in with a tip that told them that he was definitely a suspect. And, and that's when this is around the time that he canceled his tour. Um, and then they were looking for other people that it could have been, but none of them were connected to Celeste like he was. So in the beginning, they were confident that they could have prosecuted him, but that has been stopped in its tracks by, what I mentioned earlier. So we're gonna get into the interesting part. What is the next piece of evidence, or what is the next development of this case, and when will it go public? So first of all, we have the Temperance, the Moon, and the Nine of Wands. Like Spirit just wants to talk to the general public for a minute. Everything about this case will come out as time goes on. They know that everyone is on edge and anxious and waiting to hear the next thing, but we just need to relax and be conscious of our energy and in order not to hold the case back energetically. Okay, so Archangel Michael is asking everyone to be patient and regulate themselves. And we just need to relax while everything comes out in the future. And then we have the cause of death. The cause of death will show that it is still unknown how she died. The police released what they think that her death that the police will release that they think that her death was part of some sort of satanic ritual or torture. And as for when this will come out, it will be in the next 13 days. Yes, I wrote this on November 19th, so it will be 13 days from that date. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, the Death reverse, and the Queen of Cups. A woman who used to be romantically involved with David will come out and start talking about what she knows and start cooperating with the police. She herself was not involved in the murder, but she knows some stuff. And this will occur around in the next 6 days. Then we have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. They are going to provide evidence to the public that she was tortured in some way, and also evidence of her mother's abuse. As for when I got the High Priestess, it's uncertain when this information will come out, as they are trying to formulate a statement in a way that will not make the public uneasy. Like, people get freaked out by that satanic ritual stuff. Will 4 get prosecuted? So 4 will eventually start giving information to the police. And then based on what he tells them, they will use it against him to prosecute him. The general public will not be happy with the verdict though. Okay, and I'm seeing that the public will end up feeling unsafe because of this verdict. Why? Because they'll prosecute him, but he'll get away with it. And when will 4 get prosecuted? I got in the next 5 weeks. So what are they going to charge him with? So I got the Devil, the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Wands. We have murder. Well, this is what I'm getting. It could be any one of these. It could be all of these. It could be some of these. So I got murder, attempted murder, assault with intent to murder, or assault with intent to kill. Something about intent and murder, right? And then I got bribery of a police officer. But this one, It's not, they just added that on there just to give him more time in jail, which is a mistake because I believe that this is part of the reason why they throw this case out because they're not playing fair. Will they investigate and or find the other people who knew about Celeste? The authorities don't feel like investigating other people matters. They already have a person of interest that they are looking into for this case. And a lot of the people that were associated with him are claiming that they didn't know that Celeste was with him, or they're claiming that they didn't even know her at all. So they're not giving them very much information to go on. So this last part is the last question. I wanted to know some information about, get more information on what is going on in Lake Elsinore. Because I, very early on, when I was looking through Reddit, there was a person who made a comment that said, this stuff like this always happens to women in Lake Elsinore, like weird things, like people always run away or they get kidnapped or similar stuff to that. And I'm just like, that's very strange. Why are all of these horrible events like concentrated in one place? And usually there's a spiritual reason for that. So that's why I wanted to ask Archangel Michael. So here's the answer. So there is a spirit that causes young women to run away from home by causing discord in their families. And if they don't run away, it just causes them to roam around in the streets, like for hours or so. And this spirit also causes these women to find men with money who are also spiritual in some way, but they are typically abusive. This spirit was conjured up by a coven. It was conjured up out of jealousy for the women and girls who live there. So this dark spirit does not follow them around, but they carry the energy with them. And so they need to cleanse their energy. This spirit causes them anxiety and depression and causes them to attract other dark spirits. So these people who live there, they need to start wearing lighter clothes. They need to, cleanse their energy. I honestly suggest moving away from that place. Um, and I hope that anyone who is living there who is a witch can help to like bind the spirit so it can stop doing harm to everybody who lives there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like this, go ahead and hit like and subscribe so I know you want more. Drop a comment with your thoughts or give ideas for future videos. Stay blessed and I'll catch you in the next one.